Hey everybody, welcome back to the Gamer's Vault. I'm your host, James. We have a predicament, don't we, in the community of at least the retro community. Before I get to the mainstay of our video, and I'm really excited to talk to you about it because it actually came out really well. I wanted to go over a slight gaming news, to take a little chance, step back a bit and just go over certain things. So, what do we go with first? Let me get the small stuff out of the way. I wanted to let you know, this weekend is the Long Island Retro at the Cradle of Aviation. It's going to be held at the Cradle of Aviation, as you know. Beautiful freaking venue. I didn't go last year. I'm going this year with some family and friends. I definitely hope to see some of you guys there. I'll be probably walking around the vendor hall, looking at stuff that I really can't afford, which will bring me to my next news topic. Nintendo is dropping the giant banhammer. They are like saying, nope. And I believe it's more of the leadership, of the new leadership of Nintendo, the new CEO the new president of Nintendo that took over in Japan, more than it is Reggie. So I can't blame him, even though he has to follow his orders. So, what am I talking about? If you guys haven't talked to any or looked at any of the latest YouTubers, we have found out that Paradise, the biggest one that we use a lot for emulators and ROMs, has taken their site down. Cool ROMs I think is another one too, if I believe I'm wrong. I apologize, but another site. And this is because of huge lawsuits from Nintendo regarding their latest IPs. Only Nintendo so far has come out and said, hey, listen, C&D, which is always the fatal words for anyone in our industry, at least for retro gaming. C&D for redoing their games or reproduction of the games. They don't want us downloading it for free, but half of me says, you guys are scumbags. But then the other half says, you know what? They're kind of right. Now, I'm going to go ahead and play devil's advocate, guys, first, okay? I'm going to go with they're kind of right. Only because these IPs were developed so long ago, people had to sit there and get paid to work on these IPs. They should get paid for their work, right? I mean, we do that to any indie developer on Steam, on Xbox, on any other ones that are developed for. We pay for that. That's how they get paid for their contributions to the venue. But here's my problem. My main problem, and this is the pirate side of me, says you got paid. When back in the day when a Nintendo cartridge was sold, a portion of that goes to Nintendo, obviously, because they own the IP, they produced the cartridge, so a big portion of that went to Nintendo, and the other half, or a quarter of it, went to, of course, the local distributor who sold the game, so they do get a portion of that as well. Remember, these cartridges were $60 back in the day, so it cost a lot of money, at least for when I was growing up. Now, they only get paid once. That's it. The payment is done. So when I go to a lot of these retro conventions and I see like a Famicom, which is what I want to be talking about in this video, a Famicom going for $150, I want to beat the guy over the head with a giant frying pan. The biggest one in the world. Hit the people over the head with it. But then again, you really can't beat them because they don't really dictate the price. We do. And that's another reason why the websites like Emu Paradise and Cool ROMs and other websites that hold these emulators and hold these ROMs are getting attacked right now because of one thing. And I think you guys already know about it. It's the resurgence of these two. The NES Classic, and the Super Nintendo Classic. So we all know why they're doing this. Because remember, let's face facts. The ROMs have been out for years, man. This is the reason why we have people, fans that develop emulators, so we can play these ROMs. Now, again, I'm going to have to use this because it's the best way to do it. I am a small YouTube channel, and I hope that Nintendo looks at my video and just take this to consideration. We understand, Nintendo, Reggie, passes on to your president. We understand that Nintendo needs to make money on their older IPs, and we understand also that you're re-releasing these IPs, which I applaud you for. About goddamn time. As the developments of these retro games come out, and either they're getting a redevelopment like a Resident Evil 2 remake, or they're coming out such as the Classics edition. I'm going to call them Classics, guys, because it's the best way to do it. Neo Geo just came out with their version of the Classic. Sega sometime is coming out with their version of a Classic. And Nintendo's came out with their Classics, and hopefully will continue to do some more in the future. N64? Game Boy? Come on, you know you want to. But the problem is the games. So, like I said, guys, I'm going to a retro convention over the weekend, and I'm going to bring my camera with me. I really don't like to shoot film on conventions. I kind of like to step back and take it easy and enjoy the convention, you know, because thank God I'm not big enough to. I'm sorry, and I love all you guys, but thank God I'm not big enough to sit at a conference table and just sit there and give speeches. I do that enough on the camera, to be honest with you. But I do enjoy meeting you guys in person. I would love to meet you guys in person. I met a couple of people during my ways in YouTube, so I definitely appreciate that. And I do that a lot. But I don't like sitting at a convention or behind a convention table or just signing autographs, which I don't mind doing. But, again, sitting at a table and then being guarded, I like to be out there. I like to be in the knit of things. So, I don't want to kick a dead horse. I'm going to show you guys videos of some of the vendors that are going to be there selling games. Only because I blame us as collectors and I blame Nintendo. Only because if you're starting to see a resurgence in your older IPs, maybe you should start bringing them back. NES, or Nintendo, excuse me, has went ahead and already set the footstones of it. Then Neo Geo's came out with their little mini. Can't afford it, but they came out with it. There are, I think, also 1-Up arcades are coming out, which is the ones that we're seeing in GameStop for $2.99. Frankly, I got this big bastard over here. I'm looking at the camera because I'm making sure I'm pointing right. I'm looking at this big bastard behind me, and I barely play with it. And it actually is a full-size arcade cabinet, which you could put quarters in if you wanted to. Anyway, nonetheless, I don't see myself buying a $300 unit. So, I'm gonna get off my horse now. Guys, I will be shooting video at this convention. Just some small videos, some small snippets of what's going on, so you guys can check it out for yourselves. So, I'll be happy to show you guys that. Also, Sunday, I'm going to do a podcast, or I'll hopefully get a podcast done with my partners from Transatlantic Retro. If you guys haven't seen them yet, or you don't know who I'm talking to, I'm going to post some of their YouTube videos below. We have people such as Keiran from RetroTech 100. We have Forrest from EazyHax. Show you guys, these guys are pillars of the community for retro gaming, as well as Benny from Hermits Hidaway. We have so many people. We have also our friend Sean. He doesn't have a really YouTube channel, but he does come on our podcast there as well. We have so many people that come on, so I enjoy you guys to listen, or at least invite you guys to listen. If you haven't listened to any of our podcasts, we do have a couple of them out. So we're gonna get them out. That's what I'm gonna be doing Sunday, Saturday, retro convention, Sunday podcast. Anyway, let's push this to the side. The next topic I'm going to talk about is why the video is here. As you guys know, I recently went ahead and bought a Famicom system. And I converted it from the yellowish looking, ugly looking thing that you see right freaking here. It was just gross. To a beautiful white fashion Famicom. Why did I do this? Well, two reasons why. One, it was cheap, and I'll go over the pricing later on. But two, I always wanted a Famicom system. Famicom has a huge history, guys. Very huge history. So before we get into the video, I'm a history buff. I'm going to go over some history facts that you guys do not know, or maybe you did know about the Famicom. A lot of my stuff are going to get it from Wikipedia. I'm not Jesus Christ here, guys. I got a lot of this information from Wikipedia. So let's get started. The development. Following a series of arcade game successes in the early 1980s, Nintendo made plans to create a cartridge-based console called the Famicom, which is short for Family Computer. Masayuki, I'm going to just say his name because the last name is going to kill me, designed the system. On original plans, he wanted to make an advanced 16-bit system which functions as a full-fledged computer with a keyboard and floppy disk drive. But Nintendo president Hiroshi Yamauchi rejected this and instead decided to go for a cheaper, more conventional cartridge-based game console, as he felt that features such as keyboards and discs were intimidating to non-technophiles. A test model was constructed in October 1982 to verify the functionality of the hardware, after which work began on programming tools. I'm not going to go over the specs of it, guys, because it's just too much. I'm not going to do that. The code name for the project was called Gamecom. No, not that Gamecom. But Masayuki Yamauchi's wife proposed the Famicom, arguing that in Japan, Pusukon is used to mean personal computer, but it's neither home or personal computer. Perhaps we could say it's a family computer. Meanwhile, Hiroshi Yamauchi decided that the console should use a red and white theme after seeing a billboard for DX antenna, which used those colors. So, guys, why did the Famicom look like this? And we got that. What happened? Let me tell you. During that time, between the console, I can't say console wars. Console wars came out later. This is more of the height of video game industry was led by Atari, and as you already know, Atari was doing well because of the consoles they were producing, as well as the games they were shooting out. Every time a person bought a game, a new console came out, and people got fed up. So, thus the big console drop for us back in the day. So, what happened? Nintendo wanted to get back into the market for North America and Europe, but they didn't want to be associated with Atari's downfall. So they changed the design to look like more of a VCR type design. So those VCRs you guys saw back in the day that look like that, yeah, that's the reason why your Nintendo looks like that. Coincidence? Definitely. Anyway, that's the reason why the Famicom looks like that. But the problem with the Nintendo, we all know, was the ZIF loader, which is, in case you guys don't know, is when you stick the cartridge in and you bring it down, you bend the pins, which cause the blinking red light. So you guys know how that works. The Famicom was not prone to that, only because it was simplistic in its design, as you guys can see. And you will see as I go through the video. It kind of reminds me of a top loader. Unfortunately, top loaders for us didn't come out until much later on, and now deem high pricing for them. So, go figure. Alright, so let's get to some facts here. Worldwide, the Nintendo sold 61.91 million, consoles sold. In Japan, 19.35 million. In America, 34 million. Other regions, 8.56 million. And that's only because a lot of my friends across the pond would say more of the computer took off over there, the Commodore mostly. So, and the Amiga. So that took off over there. It took a lot of the market. So at that time, that makes sense. I give that much. So what happened? I'm going to go over that. It's going to be actually pretty cool. So, what happened with the console? When did it stop doing support? Actually, it's pretty amazing. On August 14th, 1995, Nintendo discontinued the Nintendo Entertainment System in both North America and Europe. So 1995, that was it. The Famicom was officially discontinued. You guys won't believe this. The Famicom was officially discontinued in September of 2003. But Nintendo still offered repair services for the Famicom in Japan until 2007. So this console, from what? I'm going to go back because I'm not good at the numbers here, guys. So from the inception of the Famicom, which was released in Japan on July 15th, 1983, for the official discontinued in 2005, with the repair up into 2007, was amazing for them. Holy moly. So they had the console going for a very, 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 very long time. So I wanted to bring that console to my household. Also, I also wanted it for my collector. I'm a collector, guys. You guys haven't told yet, haven't been seen yet. I do a lot of collecting. So I wanted it here. So what happened? I bought one cheap, and I'm going to show you how to repair it for yourselves. So if you guys get lucky to buy one cheap, please pick it up, because they are worth it. The second thing is, today, that console can go between $150 to $175, and if you get it complete in box, upwards of $250 so far. I've seen, at least in my area. I live in New York. So getting a Famicom is really, really, really expensive. I mean, come to think of it, in the release of Japan, the Famicom was only $179. I mean, well, excuse me, let me correct myself. In Japan, it was 14,800 yen. I guess that's what they would call it, yen. Yeah. In the U.S., the console was only $180. But back in that time, that's expensive. That's equivalent to our $400 consoles that we buy in the store today. Anyway, in this episode of The Gamer's Fault, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to repair a broken console to keep it in your household. And we're going to test it out. I have some cartridges, and I'm going to show you guys what you could do to get your NTSC or PAL cartridges to work. Anyway, hey guys, let's get started. As I showed you earlier how to make the Famicom white, we have to do some work on the inside too. Like I said, I bought this for $22 on eBay from a guy who I already knew stated that he had told me that the Famicom was busted. So he is 100% factual on this, that the Famicom is in fact busted. You're probably not going to tell. I will show you in the video what it looks like or what is busted, but I wanted to show you the inside of a Famicom. There are, from what I could see, two versions of the Famicom. The difference is the power board. This is the power board that the Famicom comes with. The first version, I'm going to see if I can shoot a picture of it real quick so you guys can take a look. And now we have this version. So this version is separated from the board, so you can have the power this way. The second version, as you know, the power switch is usually on the side. It's usually different. There's a lot of stuff that goes to it. Nonetheless, there's a problem with this one. Beside it being completely filthy, you know, the main thing that's wrong with it is the power board. So I'm going to bring this over, and I'm going to shoot you guys a little bit further down and see if you guys can recognize it a little bit better. Alright, so let's move out the way. What is wrong with this? Beside it being completely and utterly disgusting inside, what can you see? What's wrong? Oh, sorry, too late. It is, for those of you guys who already guessed it, the cap. The cap on here is completely fat. It shouldn't be bigger than my thumb. It really shouldn't. But nevertheless, people have gone through it before, and I'm going to show you guys how to remove the cap, and then we're going to test it out once everything is put together. So we're going to remove the cap, and then we're going to hook the Famicom up to a TV. I have a Famicom English cartridge. It's reproduction, obviously. I hate reproductions, but for this video I had to get one. So I'm going to show you guys today how to desolder this off and clean. We're going to clean the hell out of this thing. And what are we going to use to clean it with? Let's pull you guys back out. We're going to use IPA, isopropyl alcohol. Why use isopropyl alcohol? There's only one reason why. This dries up fast, so you want it to be, you don't want it to be wet while you're turning this on. You guys already know how water and electricity don't mix. So we're going to clean this up, make it a little decent, and then we're going to go inside here and we're going to start that up. So I'm going to do that off camera, cleaning it up, and then I'm going to get you guys right into the mix of everything. So be right back. Alright guys, I did the best cleaning I could on the Famicom. You can only do so much on it, but it did came out really nice. So the first thing we're going to do is have to remove this cap, this power cap here. As I said to you guys before, that was the reason why this Famicom was having the problem. So, what do we replace it with, right? Well, caps have been better over the years. So we're going to replace it with this. This is the cap. I'm going to show you guys exactly what it looks like. There you go. So that's the cap we're going to use. And pretty much, in case you guys don't know, it's 1000 UF, 6.3 volts. So how did I get that number? Well, I did a lot of research online, but you can also look at the cap that's on here as well, and it does say it on the cap. So look at that. From that big cap, from that big cap to this one, it's actually pretty funny. Either way, we're going to flip our Famicom upside down. Unfortunately, I didn't want to remove the wire to this, the on and off switch wire. It's a pain in the butt, so I'm just leaving it there. But before we turn it upside down, we need to know where this connects to, right? So, as I look at the board here, I noticed that these two right here are our culprits. Right there. Sorry. Right there. So, I'm going to put this down. Move this here. I'm going to put this down, and that's where our culprits are going to be. Let me move this back up a little bit. There we go. So those two right there, these two here, are our culprits. So, what are we going to do? The first thing you're going to do, like I always tell you guys, don't be cheap. Go get some flux. So we're going to put some flux on top of our culprits. That's too much, but that's alright. I can clean it off later. There you go. Let me get a new brush. My brush is dying out. Alright. So, flux. The next thing you're going to do is get some soldering wick. I got some soldering wick from Radio Shack, so we're going to use that. And of course your soldering pen. I don't have other adapters to my soldering pen. All I have is the pointed one. Normally I would have better ones than this, but for now I'm going to have to do what happens, you know. Life gives you lemonades. Make beef stew. Alright, anyway. Put our soldering pen to it, and as you can see, it is definitely reacting exactly the way you want, because you want to get rid of all that flux that was there over the years, you know. Nintendo did a good job soldering these things together, I tell you that much. But then again, this was their first console. So, as you guys know, as collectors know, it's really pricey to get a Famicom, especially from a store. This came out really quickly. Especially from a store. Give me a second. Let me pull you guys back out a little bit so you guys can see what I'm doing here. Okay. So, as you go, like I said to you before, it's really expensive to get these things. So if I could fix one myself and then show people how to do it, you guys don't get taken from a store location. Ah, my nose itches. Alright. One's coming out, and so is the other one. There we go. Wow, that came out nicely. So there it is. There is our headache. That's gone. Usually there's more than one underneath here that does expand, but as I check them, they're fine. I'm going to try to do the best I can. They're right there at the bottom. And I don't feel like taking this whole metal piece apart just to get to those two, besides the fact that I can see that they're not expanded. So, if they're not expanded, why go for it? So, what do we do now, right? We're going to have to do a bit more solder wicking, only because we need the holes. So, there you go. There you go. Alright. At least we don't need any more flux. What do we do now, right? So, it's going to be quite simple. Just like I showed you before, see how that line is? You're going to line it up the same way. They have a line on the capacitor. So we're going to put that in line, which is right there. Ooh, sorry. Right there. And we're going to line it up on the inside of our Famicom board. Boom. And then you just bend them back. That's all you need to do. Push them in as much as you can get them in. That's the way I like to do it. And then you bend them back. Boom. Now let's go back down so you guys can see how that looks. Sorry, I pushed you guys too far. Alright, there you go. So, I don't need no more flux because I got plenty on the board. I'm going to bring the solder to the board. Don't need to do anything further than that. I want to see if they have a good solder point. No. I'm going to put a little bit more on this side here. There we go. You don't never want a cold solder point because then it messes with the board later on. So, this is all in, right? Let's put our pen back. Well, we're not done, right? Because we got 2 pins sticking out. We can't have these sticking out. I mean, it's going to go back on the board, then what? You're going to stick them back up. People use nail clippers and stuff like that. I could use, let's see, what do I have here? Luckily for me, I have a set of nail clippers I use for these jobs. I just didn't have them in the room. So, you could use nail clippers. The wire ain't that big. So, go down, you cut them off. Go down, over here, and boom, it's gone. And you're done. Boom, there you go. Let's take a look at how it looks. Looks perfect. Beautiful. That's exactly what we want. Nice spot. So let's go hook this up. And I'm going to put it back in its case. I'm not going to show it to you all on camera. It's a pain in the butt. I'm going to hook this back up into the case. And then we're going to turn it on and take a look. So, see you there. Alright guys, so as you can see, my Famicom is fully put together. From the last video, or the videos previously, this is the one I converted to make white again. The only thing that I am kind of sad about, and they couldn't get cleaned, was the stickers that would go here and here. If I see a picture online, I'll post it somewhere here. But yeah, that's the only thing I couldn't do. Yes, this is an Xbox 360. For a later video, I'll explain that later. But for now, it's going to be perfect to sit the Famicom on. So as you can see, perfectly fine. This is a Scandinavian cart reproduction of Splatterhouse for the NES. And as you can, I'm going to show you now. Thank you, Xbox, for allowing us to have your TV. There it is. The Scandinavian version of Splatterhouse. Let me pull back a little bit on the, there we go. And, sorry about my camera. There we go. For some reason, my camera's having some issues, but I'm going to fix it now. There we are. So, let me put the sound up. I muted it because of the white noise that it makes when you're waiting for a cartridge. There you go. So it works perfectly fine. There are 2 disclaimers I should tell you. One is, I'm using a regular NTSC Nintendo adapter. So it's regular Nintendo RF adapter. Works perfectly fine there. 2, the power I'm using is a Sega Genesis power adapter. So I guess Sega does and Nintendo does. No, it's not a joke, but you guys get the message. So I'm using there because they're the only ones that can power that up. That's what it comes down to. So does it play, right? Let's take a look. And there we are. Playing perfectly fine. A little glitch there, but okay. Now I know why they didn't want to have us... They didn't want us to have this game. Only because... Oh, that's not good. To fight the boss. They didn't want us to have this game. See, I'm not good at this game. But they didn't want us to have this game. I could only see. I'm beating on dogs and their heads fall off. I can only see how that is. So you have 4 continues, or you can use the password system. Whatever. You guys get the idea. Does it play Nintendo carts? So as I showed you in earlier videos, I got an adapter for the NES system. There is a glitch on it though. So let's go back to the console. And I'm going to show you guys right now. Here's the glitch. So here's the adapter. This says back of NES. This right here says back of NES. This says front of Famicom system. So you could stick this in, but it could only stick in like this to the Famicom. That is a definitely bad design flaw, but I'll show you guys how it works. By the way, just in case you haven't figured it out yet, I'm putting in Simon's Quest. Yes, it's a bad NES game. Sue me. Anyway, turn this off. Pop it out. Put this in. And turn it on. There you guys go. It does play Castlevania games. Or any NTSC, I should say, games. As long as you have the adapter that converts it from 60 pin to 72 pin. So, and I'm using the NES. The Famicom controllers. And I suck at this game miserably, but then again, this game wasn't the best in the world. Alright. So, I got some closing remarks about this project that I could tell you about. Just give me a few moments to get to my desk. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the repair video. It was I had fun making it. A couple of remarks is, please forgive the camera angles. I'm trying the best I can. I only have a camera, and it's this camera right here. It's the Keiran RetroTech HFR11. I collect a lot of things because I do a lot of bartering and trading and stuff like that, but really can't afford a lot. I can assure you, it does look like I have a lot of stuff here. A lot of the stuff was either given to me or I traded for it. So, I got this camera, fortunately, I'm going to be honest with you, at a thrift store. So, and I got it for like 50 bucks, and it came with a case. That's it. I had to buy the repair stuff for itself. So the camera does do its trick, as you can see. I wanted to go ahead and do a repair on the Famicom disk system and give you guys a little background on that. Right now, even a broken Famicom disk system can go upwards up to $50 to $60. Between going on this trip that I'm going to this weekend, and then I'm going on another Monster Mania trip next weekend, and then of course I'm leaving for California for a few days in November for another convention. So I have so many things going on, I can't afford it right now. But in the future, I hope to get a broken Famicom disk system with the Famicom game, disc game, so we can go ahead and do that in the future. Tell me what you guys think. Did you like this video? What would you like to see in the future videos? I still have the Dreamcade replay, and perhaps the next video will be based on that after I do the conventions and get everything settled up with that. The next one will probably be another Dreamcade video, because I want to get back to that as well. Some of you guys are getting your Dreamcades, and I want to say congrats and enjoy, because it's going to be fun and a big excitement. I just hope that you're able to get games for it. I know that you can search for some games on the Dreamcade, but not all games can be searched. So just keep that in mind when you're doing what you're doing. And either way, thank you guys for coming. Don't forget to thumbs up this video. If you haven't been here before, hit that subscribe button and ding that bell, so that way you guys can see the next videos that come up in the future. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time. Take care.
ファミリーコンピュータの楽しいカセット情報。シングルスダブルスの本格テニスをコンピュータと技比べ、5段階のランクが楽しめます。ピンボール、迫力のフリッパー、スロットマシンのスリル、ポーカーゲームの興奮、ビンゴの面白さの全てを結集したピンボールの決定版。さらにゴルフ、光線銃など面白カセットどんどん登場。
ファミリーコンピューターに光線銃登場。コントローラーを電子銃に持ち替えて、ワイルドガンマン西部のならず者相手にコンマ1秒の腕比べ。次にダックハント。1人はコントローラーでカモを操り、1人はハンター。そして圧巻だけを狙い撃つオーガンズアレイ。どのカセットも同じ電子銃で楽しめるファミリーコンピューター。
ファミリーコンピュータに熱中ゲーム続々登場。アーバンチャンピオン、2種類のパンチで相手をノックアウト。植木鉢やパトカーなどの邪魔も入ります。くるくるランド、隠れたドアを見つけて21のゲーム面を勝ち進む変化に富んだ面白さ。1人でも2人でも楽しめるアーバンチャンピオンくるくるランド、ファミリーコンピュータ。
ファミリーコンピューターにエキサイトバイク登場。コントローラーを駆使して次々現れる障害をクリア。大きくジャンプ、前後にバランスを移動させる高度なテクニック。さらに好きなコースを作ってゲームが楽しめるデザイン機能内蔵。ファミリーコンピューターエキサイトバイク。
ファミリーコンピュータの冒険ゲームバルーンファイト。ふんわり浮かんで空中戦、群がる敵と一人でファイト。2人の時は敵味方入り乱れての大激戦。山登りが楽しいゲームになったアイスクライマー。ハンマー振るって頂上征服。2人プレイが協力し合って難関突破。1人でも2人でも楽しめるファミリーコンピュータバルーンファイトアイスクライマー。
ファミリーコンピューターにレッキングクルー。邪魔者をかわして次々に壁を壊しビルを解体。100の画面に挑戦、何面クリアできるか腕比べ。好きなキャラクターを使っていろいろなオリジナルゲームも作れるデザイン機能内蔵。ファミリーコンピューターのレッキングクルー。
ファミリーコンピューターにロボット登場。テレビ画面とロボットを同時にコントロールできる新しいゲームシステム。画面から送られる光信号をロボットの目がキャッチ。アップ、ダウン、ライト、レフト、2人でブロックの争奪戦。コマの操作でゲートを開閉。ロボットと共同作業を楽しむジャイロ。ロボット用カセットブロックとジャイロ。
こちらゲームポリス。光信号とロボットの作動をキャッチ。
ファミリーコンピュータとロボットが合体したあの新しいゲームか？
はい。あ、今ブロックからジャイロへソフトの切り替えが行われたようです。楽しみを独り占めするのは禁止されている。
ファミリーコンピュータロボットブロックとジャイロ。
ファミリーコンピューターに夢の大冒険ゲームスーパーマリオブラザーズ。秘密の力で大きく変身。地上に地下に海に空に次々に展開する不思議な世界。スーパーマリオブラザーズ新発売。